So we've talked about how drugs are developed and improved through Health Canada, how they're reimbursed provincially, and now in the hands of patients. So Suzanne, what's next?
Well, that's a great question. It's a really important question because I mentioned before around phase 4 clinical trials. And really what that is once the drug's brought to market, it's really important to do what we call post-market surveillance. Because I talked about in clinical trials, they're very limited patient populations. It's a very controlled patient population. Well, out in the real world, people have other medical conditions. And so this complicates things. And so it's really important for post-market surveillance. And this is gaining popularity also as part of the drug review process because they actually look at what we call real-world safety and effectiveness literature. So manufacturers track what's going on with outcomes or safety issues. Health Canada, if you have concerns, you should report either through your physician, your pharmacist, or yourself. If you have an adverse event, it's really important to report those kinds of things. So it's really important to understand once that drug's out on the market, what's happening out there, how are patients reacting, and is it actually having the impact and effectiveness and safety that we expected.
That's a really good point. So, it doesn't just stop once the approval process has happened.
No, not at all.
There is ongoing and continual monitoring of the drug for side effects that maybe weren't necessarily seeing in that controlled environment.
Exactly.
It's
very rare that a drug comes off the market. It's very rare that you hear that a drug's been what they call recalled or pulled from the market. It does happen, and it's rare, and that speaks to the rigor of our approval processes, which is fantastic. But you can't account for everything, and so that's a really important component that people need to be aware of.
For sure. I know when you go to the pharmacy and you get your prescription filled, you'll get those sheets that go along with your with the particular drug, and it lists the side effects, but it also mentions specifically if you have any side effects that are not mentioned, to report them to your pharmacist or to your physician. So
exactly, and I would really encourage people to do that because it's really important from a population perspective to capture that information.